For tennis players, winning the US Open is a pinnacle of glory. But what if that crowning achievement is actually the beginning of an unexpected descent? Join us as we uncover the enigmatic US Open curse, exploring the careers of champions whose triumph in New York was followed by unforeseen struggles and setbacks. In this deep dive, we'll unravel the mysterious stories of champions who reach the pinnacle, only to find themselves trapped in a spiral of challenges that would test the very limits of their resilience. Prepare to question everything you know about success, fame, and the brutal reality behind tennis's most prestigious stage. Andy Roddick's 2003 US Open journey was a testament to American tennis dominance. En route to his title, he defeated a young Marty Fish in the third round and weathered a tough 5-set battle against Yang Schalken in the quarterfinals. His path to glory culminated in a straight-sets victory over Juan Carlos Ferrero in the final. Beyond this triumph, Roddick's career became defined by his rivalry with Roger Federer. He reached a career-high ranking of world number 1 in 2003, but was consistently overshadowed by Federer's dominance. The most heartbreaking moment came at the 2009 Wimbledon final, a match that lasted 4 hours and 16 minutes, where he lost in 5 sets to Federer. After his US Open victory, Roddick reached 4 more Grand Slam finals but lost all of them to Federer. His ranking gradually declined, and he retired in 2012 with a sense of unfulfilled potential, despite being one of the most dominant American players of his era. Juan Martín del Potro's 2009 US Open run was nothing short of spectacular. He navigated a challenging draw, dominating Rafael Nadal in the semifinals, and his final victory over Roger Federer was a 5-set epic that seemed to herald a new era in men's tennis. Prior to his US Open triumph, Del Potro had already shown promise, reaching the quarterfinals of the Australian Open earlier that year. However, chronic wrist injuries began to plague his career immediately after his breakthrough. Between 2010 and 2015, he underwent 4 wrist surgeries that significantly interrupted his momentum. Despite these challenges, he showed flashes of his incredible potential, winning an Olympic silver medal in 2016 and returning to the US Open final in 2018. His world ranking plummeted due to extended injury layoffs, dropping as low as world number 1142 at one point. Del Potro's career became a poignant story of what might have been, ultimately forcing him to retire in 2022. Marin Cilic's 2014 US Open campaign was a breakthrough moment. He defeated Roger Federer in straight sets in the semifinal before dominating Kei Nishikori in the final. This victory came after an impressive run that saw him overcome a doping suspension in 2013, making his triumph even more remarkable. Cilic reached a career-high ranking of world number 3 in 2018, but struggled to maintain consistent top-level performance. His subsequent Grand Slam finals at Wimbledon in 2017 and the Australian Open in 2018 ended in defeats. Knee injuries became a significant challenge, causing him to drop out of the top 20 and struggle to replicate his US Open success. By 2022, he was competing at a much lower level, a far cry from his 2014 peak. Stan Wawrinka's 2016 US Open victory was his 3rd Grand Slam title, following previous wins at the Australian Open and French Open. His path to the title included a dramatic 4-set victory over Novak Djokovic in the final. Known for his powerful one-handed backhand, Wawrinka had always been a dangerous floater in Grand Slam tournaments. However, the years following his US Open win were marked by persistent knee injuries. He underwent multiple surgeries and struggled to maintain his ranking, dropping from world number 3 to outside the top 100. Despite occasional glimpses of his former brilliance, Wawrinka became a shadow of his former self, unable to compete consistently at the highest level. Sloane Stephens' 2017 US Open victory came seemingly out of nowhere. She defeated fellow American Madison Keys in the final, becoming the first American to win the US Open since Serena Williams in 2013. However, her post-victory career has been marked by inconsistency. Her ranking has fluctuated dramatically, dropping as low as world number 79 in 2018 before climbing back to number 3 in 2018. She has struggled to string together consistent performances, with early tournament exits becoming more common than deep runs. Bianca Andreescu's 2019 US Open victory was historic. Defeating Serena Williams in straight sets, she became the first Canadian to win a Grand Slam singles title. However, injuries quickly derailed her promising career. She missed the entire 2020 season due to the COVID-19 pandemic and persistent injury issues. Her ranking dropped significantly, and she struggled to recapture the form that made her a sensation in 2019. By 2022, she was fighting to remain relevant in top-tier tennis. Dominic Thiem's 2020 US Open victory during the pandemic-disrupted season was a triumph of mental fortitude. Coming back from 0-2 down against Alexander Zverev in the final, he demonstrated extraordinary resilience. Prior to this victory, he had already established himself as a clay court specialist with multiple French Open final appearances. However, a severe wrist injury following his US Open win completely derailed his career. He dropped out of the top 100, struggling to regain his form and fitness. What once seemed like a potential era of dominance became a cautionary tale of how quickly fortunes can change in professional tennis. Daniil Medvedev's 2021 US Open victory, where he defeated Novak Djokovic and prevented a calendar Grand Slam, was a defining moment. Despite this breakthrough triumph, his subsequent years have been marked by agonizing near misses. Just months after his US Open victory, he reached the 2022 Australian Open final, leading 2-0 before ultimately losing to Rafael Nadal in a heartbreaking 5-set defeat. His struggles continued with a 2023 US Open final appearance that also ended in defeat, followed by another loss in the final of the 2024 Australian Open. Medvedev's career since his US Open triumph has turned into a masterclass in how to reach the biggest stages while falling just short of additional Grand Slam glory. Emma Raducanu's 2021 US Open victory was unprecedented. As an unseeded qualifier, she became the first player in the Open era to win a Grand Slam without dropping a set. However, her post-victory career has been a roller coaster. Injuries and inconsistency plagued her, and she struggled to win matches on the WTA Tour. Her ranking dropped significantly, and she has only passed the second round in a Grand Slam once since her historic victory. While their victories in New York are moments of glory, the challenges that followed seem more than mere coincidence. As we celebrate their triumphs, we also recognize the hardships that came after. What do you think? Is the US Open curse real, or are these simply the cruel realities of professional tennis? Have we missed any players whose careers took unexpected turns after their New York triumph? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.